Hello everybody, son Adelaja here. Welcome back to our series, Understanding Suicide, Mass Shooting and Depression. Today I'm talking about depression and perfectionism. A lot of people who get depressed, unfortunately, are same people who used to be very good. People who are good in one thing or the other, mainly because they are used to being excellent. They are used to being perfect almost. They are used to doing everything right. They are used to getting results. They are used to being strong. They are used to being go-getters. People who are used to high standards and high qualities. Often these people could be depressed because of life. Life is tough, and one thing about life is that things will not always work your way. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how perfect you are in your eyes or in your effort. It doesn't matter how much work you put in sometimes. Sometimes God just allows things, or life does allows things to happen in such a way that you will never be able to make yourself the God of your life. You will never be able to say you always get what you want at the time you want them. You will not always be in charge of everything in life. You will not always make everything to be perfect, tailored perfect the way you've always wanted. And for people who are used to getting things their own way, for people who are used to being good, people who are used to getting results, people who are used to being go-getters, people who are used to working out of order and making everything work out as predicted and as things ought to be, that could be a big blow to them. It could be such a blow that makes them to believe that if once they begin to fail now and they begin to see the other side of life, and they begin to fail where they expected to succeed, they begin to fall where they expected to stand, they begin to miss it where they expected to be on target, that could really beat them down. That could really break their ego, and it could really bring them a lot of disillusionment, and disillusionment could lead to depression. So perfectionism could play a trick on people who are perfectionists, and because life is all about black and white. Life is not just about white, and life is not just about black. Life is not just about one thing. So there's no way you always get it right in life. So when they begin to fail, people who are perfectionists, it could lead them to depression. It leads to disappointment, disillusionment, and depression. And of course, that could lead onward to suicide thoughts. It could lead to thoughts of mass shooting. It could lead to all different kind of things, just because they are used to getting everything right. And once they cannot get everything right, and when things are not working their way anymore, they begin to think that they are not good enough. And it's an illusion. To be perfect is an illusion. And this is one of the ways to really help these people who are perfectionists to come out of this mode of thinking. They have to be taught, and we have to communicate to them that perfectionism is an illusion, that there is just no way everybody could be perfect in life, and that life is it's life, and life could play any tricks on anybody at any time. So it's important for, especially if you are a perfectionist, it's important for you to avoid the depression by giving yourself some space, by giving yourself some chance to relax and to be more relaxed about life, because people who are perfectionists are always working hard, and they are always trying to make everything right. And when they do that, they think that everything depends on their efforts. And sometimes you need to depend on God, on God's grace, on God's blessings, so that once you have done your best, you then need God to bless your efforts. But people who are perfectionists always mainly depend on their efforts. And when their efforts are not enough, then they begin to be down and begin to fall apart. But so one of the ways to really help these kind of people is to let them know that life is black and white, help them to relax, and to let them know that they need to give themselves some space and some time to enjoy what they have. And another way to help these people is to remind them that, you know what, life is not about being perfect, but life is about doing your best. That once you have done your best, then you don't need to blame yourself. You don't need to condemn yourself, and you don't need to be disillusioned and be depressed just because something didn't work out the way you had planned it to be. So we need to let people know that what matters in life is that you are giving it your best shot. You are doing your best. Once you have done your best, don't worry about it. Leave the rest to God. And that's why faith in God could really help people who are perfectionists, and faith in God will help people who are in depression. That once you have done your best, rest in God. Give the rest to God, and let God take over. Let God bless your efforts. There is a scripture in the Bible when Paul was talking about he planted, Apollos watered, but it is not, at the end of the day, it doesn't depend on them. It depends on the God that causes the plant to grow. So I could have planted, and I could have planted the best way I could. Apollos could have come to water the plant, and he could have watered it the best way he could too. But if the God that sees to it that a plant grows in the soil doesn't bring for the plant, then even though we have done our best, it will still not be good enough. So after doing your best, the next thing you need to do is to rest in God, is to rely on God, and to let God know, let yourself know that now the rest is in the hand of God. And some people call it luck in the world sometimes, but you just know that it is God that causes the plant to grow. And you do your best. Once you have done your best, you could relax that, yes, I've done my best. And now the rest is in the hand of God. And trust God, rest in God. That way you could really get yourself and prevent depression from coming to your life. Another way to help people who are perfectionists is that people who are perfectionists always work out of obligation, duty. They have a high level sense of duty, and high level sense of obligation, that I have to do it, I have to do it. It's more like an obligation, yeah? On one hand, they take responsibility, but when the responsibility is too high, the sense of responsibility, it becomes like an obligation. And the sense of obligation could drive them to a dead end. So that is one thing that is one way we need to help the perfectionists. Just know that you need to do what you need to do your best in everything, but don't feel like you are under obligation. Feel that you are responsible for something. So it's better to stop at the stage of responsibility, taking responsibility for something, rather than feeling obliged. Because by the time you are feeling obliged, then the weight is upon you. So what I'm saying is that sense of I must do this, you need to relax sometimes. You need to help the people like this who are perfectionists to relax and say, wait a minute, it's your free will. because that's the difference between between obligation and responsibility. With responsibility, it's your free will. You want to do it. But with obligation, it's like you are obliged to do it. And it's not your will, it's not in your hand. It's more like a task, a burden on your head. So it's better to teach people who are perfectionists to work out of a sense of responsibility rather than from a sense of obligation. So another point that I want to make is that people who are perfectionists always are very particular about the quality of their work. They want to get the best quality of their work, which is good, and that's what makes them to always have results. But when that fails, when they are not able to get the best quality, when they are struggling, when they have done their best and nothing is working out, that's when depression could come in. So, but I think instead of assessing yourself by the quality or the end result of the product, I think it's better to go back to what we have spoken about, to go back to saying, I know I have done my best. So assess yourself by you putting in the best effort possible from your side. Once you have done that, then whatever the result or the outcome is, that does not always depend on you. But just comfort yourself in the sense that, or in the fact that you have done everything that you could do. Because often when people have done their best and they still don't have the result, then you begin to think that, something is wrong with you, or maybe you are the one that is not doing something right. That way you are putting more pressure on yourself, and that could lead to disillusionment, and that disillusionment could lead to depression. So remove that pressure on yourself by comforting yourself that, thank God I've done my best, I am doing my best, I am trying my best. Because one thing that perfectionist people struggle with is the fact that they have the tendency to focus on the negative. Even though they want to make the best quality, they want to produce the best quality, but since the quality is not coming out and the result they are getting is worse or below the standard that they wanted, then they begin to think that, well, it is because, it is because they are not good enough, or they are failures. They begin to look at the negative, that this thing didn't work out for them, instead of looking at the fact that, no, I've done my best. I've done the very best that I could. So they sometimes forget about the good that they have already done, because if you have done your best, you definitely have some good, maybe not the perfect result, but you have some good result. So, but the problem with perfectionism is that you stop enjoying the good result you have. You might not even notice the good result that you have, the good that you have done. So perfectionism will deprive you of enjoying the little reward and the little result that you have, of enjoying and benefiting and glowing in the good that you have done, but by focusing on the negative, on the things that have not really worked out for you. So one of the ways to really help yourself in times like this as a perfectionist is to always stop and reassess what you have done before, and to have somebody come and give you assessment, evaluate what you have done, or talk to somebody to help you evaluate what you have done. And I'm sure other people will see the good in what you have done, even though you are not seeing the good in what you have done, but other people might see the good and hear other people more. Listen to other people, listen to their compliment, listen to their to the positive feedback that they are giving onto you, that you are having. So when other people see the result of what you are doing and they see that you have tried, you are actually trying your best, and that even the result that a lot of perfectionists have that they are not satisfied with is often better than what other people could get, even when they have done their best. So other people are not even good enough. They are not even doing half of what perfectionists have done. Even though perfectionists are depressed, they are not happy with their results, but really they are better than many others. So listen to other people who may have less results, and let them give you their feedback. Let them tell you how good what you have done is. So that would then lead you to some exciting opportunities, and try to get excited. Try to be happy with what you have done. So that way you'll be able to enjoy the results of your labor, and you'll be able to see that, no, actually what I thought was not good enough is actually better than what other people have done. So if you don't have your peers' assessment like that, you might be thinking, you are just seeing it from the eyes of a perfectionist, you might be thinking you are not doing good enough. But when regular, normal people come and let you know that, no, this result is better than average, is better than what they could have done, what other people have done, then you'll be able to enjoy it. So another thing with the perfectionist is that take time to enjoy your results. Take time to enjoy, to be excited, to be happy about your result, because a lot of times people are not happy about their results. So we let other people show you some of the things that you wouldn't have seen before, because a lot of perfectionists, they are only seeing the things that are not okay, that are not good enough. But when other people come and tell you the things that they see, then you'll be able to assess yourself, you'll be able to value yourself, your effort, and then it will give you some satisfaction and some joy. Because one of the problems of perfectionists is that they don't have enough joy, and when you don't have enough joy, it leads you to depression. So another way a perfectionist could really get to get himself out of that mood is to document your achievements. Get a list of your achievements, and remind yourself of your successes. Remind yourself of your victories. Go through the list and enjoy your victories. Enjoy your results, and allow yourself to enjoy your results. Something else that you could do to get yourself away from the danger of depression is to just make sure that you follow your routine. So you have a task that is before you, you have a list of assignments that you have to do, and you have a routine to do them. Just follow the routine. Just make sure that you go and do what you need to do, and once you have finished the routine, be satisfied, be happy. Pat yourself in the back that you have done what you needed to do. Let me give you another thing that will help you, as a perfectionist, to take care of yourself, not to fall into that depression. Reward yourself. Always reward yourself. Find a way to reward yourself for every milestone. Don't wait till you get the perfect result, but for every milestone, for everything you got right, reward yourself. Find your way to to reward yourself. To do what you would like to do. Do what you will not always do. Try to praise yourself and give yourself some compliments. Well, I think that will be all I can say about depression and perfectionism. Please go and join our mentorship program if you have not yet done that. Go to sundaydelajablog.com/mentorship. Or if you want to join us to Nigeria, go to sundaydelajablog.com/Nigeria. If you want to get my book, and the book I recommend today is called Holistic Personality. This is the perfect book for anybody who is a perfectionist. Holistic Personality. Go and get that book. It's on Okada Books in Africa. is also on Amazon. But if you want the paperback in Africa, then you need to go to dsabooksplanet.com, or you need to go to you need to write to our office here by writing to dsasbooks@gmail.com and dssbooks@gmail.com. So we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Peace.